We're rolling.
We're rolling?
Okay.
All right, excellent. Well, welcome to Hill Country Connect. We're very happy that you're here. So this is where we have real connections and true Texas talk.
Thank you, sir.
My name is Fernando Guajardo, and I'm one of your hosts. And we have Sid here and Aníbal. All right. We all have to do with construction.
Okay, gotcha.
All right. So with that said, I'm going to go dive right into it. We have our friend here. Can you go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. Of course, my name is Edgar Zamorano. Recent graduate from University of Texas San Antonio. I am the executive officer and founder of Operation Taco, a nonprofit that our main mission is, of course, helping out first responders during natural disasters. But what we like to do in the meantime is go and give back to the first responder community with meals or with helping them out during events. And this is what we think of. How can we give back to the people that are always daily putting their lives at risk?
Yes.
Towards helping us.
Very good. So you have the organization Operation Taco, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the reason why we reached out to you, or we were excited of having you here, is because of your response to what happened in Kerrville. So
Yes,
so as we approach the 1-year anniversary of July 4th, right, 2025, Hill Country floods, we wanted to bring someone who witnessed both the tragedy and the incredible response firsthand. Edgar Zamorano and Operation Taco were on the ground feeding first responders, volunteers, and community members when they needed it the most. So, Edgar, you told us a little bit about yourself. Dive a little deeper into your background, about your roots, and basically what inspired you to get this going.
So I would think the biggest part of why I started doing this was 100% my dad. My dad has a trucking business, and ever since I was little, whether it was minor floods, earthquakes in Mexico City, or just the community being impacted, he always gave back to the community. The way he would do it is he would volunteer himself to drive the rigs, and he would donate the trailer itself.
Yes.
And he would say, hey, anybody that wants to bring supplies that you want to make sure are actually going to be delivered to the people.
Yes.
Just bring them over here. We'll load it. We'll load it all up, and we'll go deliver it ourselves. We'll donate the diesel.
Wow.
So
And the time.
I learned from him, especially during I was too young maybe for the first ones he ever did.
Yes.
But the one that really impacted me was 2017 when the Mexico City earthquake hit. And the biggest thing that he saw was that a lot of the help that was getting taken by the Mexican government, unfortunately.
Wow.
So him and 10 other companies, all volunteer trailers, and they filled them up. We filled up around 30 trailers that went down all the way to Mexico City, and we're guaranteed, because we were doing Facebook Lives to show the people, hey, everything that you guys donated, it's going straight to the people that are actually needing it.
Very good. Very, very, very proud of you, man. Very proud of you. One thing that we do here is we go into prayer before we get started, and I totally missed it, so we're going to do that now.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the opportunity to be able to speak to Edgar, Father. Father, guide us through this conversation and let our viewing audience learn how we feel about everything that happened and how the community can come together more and more, especially in these desperate times. In the name of your precious Son, Jesus Christ, we give you thanks. Amen.
Amen.
So with that, Sid has next question for you.
Yeah. So we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of that, the flooding and those type of events, and you jumped into that. So what are some of the things that stick out to you most in that, the first couple of days during that happening?
So during that happening, it was, I remember it, I was a server in a hotel in Bernie called The Bevy, and July 4th happens, I'm working, and we just see all this rain coming over, and we're just thinking, a bunch of people are not going to show up or something like that. It's not until morning of next day. I go in at work at 6:30, and when we start getting all those Amber alerts, all the heavy weather alerts, and then throughout the afternoon is when you start to hear that like, hey, like this is actually a bad situation. This isn't just rain. This is houses getting swept away. This is people getting trapped in rain, and then eventually you start to hear that unfortunately Camp Mystic. You start to hear where people actually that were trapped, they lost their lives, and then July 6th is when DPS troopers from El Paso. Well, we get told at the hotel, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of DPS troopers that are coming to help over in Kerrville, and that's when it really started. The videos didn't start them until a week later. But the way it all started was we started to see them come in during the afternoon, and then at night, that's when their their command structure starts to really come in. And I was thinking, oh, hey, we're gonna be able to give them breakfast. We serve it at 6:30, but just talking to them, I get to know that, oh no, we have to leave here by 5:30 in the morning, and there's nothing really on the way to Kerrville, and I didn't think it was that big of a problem. I said, okay, well, there's probably gonna be food over there. And just talking to somebody that was already up there, they say, well, yeah, but by the time they get there, it's all cold or it's all gone. Or it's not really. It's mostly sandwiches. I mean, you at the beginning, it's really a cowboy operation. You know how it is.
Yes.
So what I start to do is I approach one of the. I thought he was a sergeant because he had a computer. I didn't know they all have computers.
Yeah.
But he was really just a trooper, and I'd come up to him and I asked him, "Excuse me, sir. Could I donate some breakfast tacos for you guys? I was just thinking of buying them somewhere that would make them.
Yes.
I didn't realize how expensive it would be compared to making them.
Yes.
But what ended up happening is, hey, let me give you the phone number of my sergeant because
Okay.
I'm just a trooper. I can't really make that call,
Yes.
but I don't see a problem with it. So I get to talking to the sergeant, and I told him, hey, could I donate these tacos? And he said, yeah, of course, we'll be happy to take them. So then at night, I start to make numbers, and it's like, yeah, even though it was only 30 troopers, I wanted to get at least 2 for each of them. I said, "Ooh, if I buy them, they're gonna be at least like $300. And the way I wanted to subsidize it was whatever tips they left me at night whenever they had dinner, I would just use that to buy their breakfast tacos. I didn't want to keep it.
Okay.
So then I come to a realization, hey, you know what? If I make them, they'll be less than $1. So I started to make them at 2 a.m. in the morning, July 7th. Didn't realize that making them is not such a problem. It's packaging them all into individual wraps that takes hours.
Yes. Yes.
So-
Especially if you're a one-man operation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
Well, that's pretty good. Yeah, and so I know you're probably having like the flashbacks, right, for those days. But well, what are those things that you learn from that experience? And of course, there's probably going to be a bunch of them,
Yeah.
right? But mainly when you bring food and comfort for those that are actually helping and sacrificing what their safety, their time, their
Yeah.
family time. What are those things that you learned from those
So
days?
the biggest lesson I had was actually from that first day when I was making them. I didn't make them fast enough, and so I missed them at the hotel. But I knew I didn't have to go into work until 11. So I called the sergeant, hey, could I go all the way up to Kerrville? I know you're not letting through civilians, but could I go through to deliver them? Otherwise they're gonna they're gonna go to spoil.
Yeah.
So he tells me, yeah, we'll let you through, don't worry. Just come over to the youth center. The youth center at the time was the center where all the first responders were gathering. There was another place, but it really impacted me there because when I get there, I get to see first troopers, police, fire, Texas game wardens, people from Oklahoma, Texas from Arkansas, just so many organizations.
Yeah.
And then the impact that it had once I gave them the tacos, there were so many of them that were so happy that they were warm. They were actually good food. And then coming back, once I was working at night at the hotel, a lot of them came up to me and they told me, thank you so much for the food. It really helped us. And then eventually, just talking to them, You get to see some of them come back and not really in the best of moods. Unfortunately, a lot of them were a lot of them were assigned to Camp Mystic. So some of them had to see unfortunate things.
Yes.
But they told me that every morning that I would get to see them, every morning that I would get to give them the tacos, and I was trying to bring them up. It brought a little bit of happiness back to them. It brought a little bit more uplifting spirit.
That's actually the next question. What did you witness that gave you hope there? Once it's a tragedy. I mean, I can't even imagine what the parents were going through, right? And not knowing, what happened to their children, where they were. I just, it's heart wrenching.
Yeah.
But yet, you're there, doing something special. And I'll share the story real quick. I tried to go, and I went and bought some chainsaws because they kept saying, "Hey, we need volunteers." And I'm like, throw them in the truck. I'm like, go. But they're like, I got there, and there was like so many people, and they're like, no, we got plenty. We got, we know exactly what it was. So anyway, but yeah, no, you were able to find something that, you don't necessarily have to go and search, but you can go ahead and help the people who were searching. So that's pretty amazing. So with that said, Sid, why don't you go out with your question since
so you talked about having the challenge of, timing, getting them prepared, wrapped up, stuff like that. What were some of the other things because at that point you're like, okay, this is having an impact. So you wanted to do more, obviously. What other things did you run into with trying to get that going?
So the biggest first hurdle was the first week that I did it was only for the DPS troopers. And I thought that was going to be it because they told me, hey, we're going to be here for a week and then we're going to leave. I thought, well, okay, I'll keep it going for a week. That's not a problem. Now, keep in mind that I had 2 jobs and college as well.
Oh, boy.
So I was doing online college, which... I'll get to that part later. It's actually funny. But it was gonna be just a week. That was the whole idea. But then as the troopers are leaving, firefighters from around Austin, like Georgetown, Hutto, trying to think of the other ones, just Austin FD, they come and replace them. And some of the troopers end up telling them, hey, there's a kid that makes breakfast tacos every morning for us. So he's probably gonna make them for y'all.
Yeah.
So now I have that responsibility, changing from 20-ish troopers to 50 firefighters. So it goes from doubling the order to almost triple.
Gotcha.
And that's when it hit me that like, okay, maybe I this is way too much for me.
Yeah. And over your head.
Yeah. But then the idea came, it's like, hey, all the time there's people that use social media, not exactly for the best things, but maybe I can find something or somebody that actually wants to help, but they can't really be here.
Yes.
And there's something that they would like to contribute to.
Yes.
So I make my first video opening up that, hey, even though we're not able to go help there in person, there are so many other ways to actually be helping and to be helping those that are going up there that are qualified, that they're professionals at what they're doing.
Correct.
I think it's better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
So I make my first video. Nothing happens. I get a couple of responses. Second, third, that's when eventually people started saying, hey, I want to donate something to you. And at first I didn't want any money, just because handling money, it gets messy.
So you just wanted people to come help, not necessarily give you money.
Well, I wanted people to maybe donate like HEB drop-offs because everything I was getting was from HEB. So I just said, hey, we have HEB curbside. Just put on the order. Here's exactly the list of ingredients that I use.
Oh, wow.
If you just want to put the order, I'll be more than happy to keep cooking. Yeah.
That's inspiring.
That's pretty good. And that's a good.
The fact that the man said no money.
That's good.
Well,
and you feel the. It's pretty cool that you feel the moral obligation, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, well, the state troopers are gonna be gone. I'm gonna go back to like, hey, just handle my thing, and then you're like, oh crap, there's more people coming in, and you're like, that's a cool thing. Instead of you saying like, you know what, that's it. The actual you step up and find a way using social media. And that's the important thing. Is social media is either a waste of time for a lot of people. It's just doom scrolling, but also it's a big tool, and I think that's what we need to steer it that way.
Yes.
And now we're at a 1 year anniversary. I know I'm probably gonna get ahead of that, but social media have been you in marketing.
Yep.
Have you actually placed a system for your social medias to help you help other people, or you just been doing it based on the reaction from the people?
So I was doing it based on the reaction of the people, because the thing with social media is, if the event is happening, there's gonna be a lot of people that are looking for it. There's gonna be a lot of people that are constantly searching for it. But once the event passes, it really dies down. So that first engagement that I got, it's long gone. I'll tell you the truth. And especially because now that I'm fully focused on just work and rent and car, I don't really have as much time as I used to have to constantly doing these supply runs or food runs. And every once in a while that I do them, I can only get maybe 4 clips out of it. So I don't have I can't be like social media big people that are daily uploading something.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is you're still doing it. So what are these food runs that you do?
Yeah, so when I find the time, and when somebody approaches me and they say, "Hey, I want to sponsor a meal for first responders," most of the time it's to the police, because that's where I have the biggest impact.
Oh, wow.
Because it's 30 people at the same time.
Mm.
Firefighters, I love doing it as well. The biggest thing, sometimes it's only 8 people.
Yeah.
And especially because they're firefighters, it's especially their house, I can cook there. And I guess it's because it's more their house. I don't really like invading their privacy with recording there.
Okay.
So maybe a couple photos there.
Yeah.
Whereas with the police officers, most of them tell me, "Yeah, you're fine. We're on camera all the time." So
That's the weren't one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a couple of questions that come to mind. One is I remember seeing a a team from Mexico. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. So
our
it was
friends-
actually one of them, Los Topos, they're called.
okay.
The vest that he has to work that has all the patches, that's what inspired me to put it on all
Which
the
is pretty
patches
cool.
that I
You
got.
have these patches on here.
Yes, sir.
That's pretty awesome. I like the way you're
Topos
displaying them.
means moles.
What is it?
The moles.
The most.
Oh, because
So they started in I'm gonna get the year wrong. I think it's like 1980 Mexico City
okay.
earthquake. That was one of the deadliest
Yes.
earthquakes in Latin America. And that's where they were born. And then from that, they were created, and they started being an international group rather than just national in Mexico. So when the Turkey earthquake happened as well, they went. When the Japan earthquake happened,
Oh,
they
wow.
went as well.
Look at that. And here they come to help in Kerrville. That's in the hill country. That's beautiful.
That's their specialty, finding people in
Yes.
rubbish or.
Yeah, no, I remember seeing the pictures and of the team. Very, very cool. Okay, so looking back, do you think our communities are better prepared today than they were a year ago? Do you know as it relates to what you experienced? You were boots on the ground.
Yeah.
Serving tacos. By the way, what kind of tacos were there?
Mostly chicken, egg and chorizo, egg and ham. I started with beans and cheese, but I started to see that some of them are lactose intolerant, and also beans and cheese isn't really the best when you're out in the sun all day afterwards.
Yeah.
But the reason why I always made breakfast tacos was these troopers always have their engines idling.
Yes.
So an old trucker trick that my dad showed me is, whenever you would buy food, you just put it on the engine block and it'll heat up again.
Oh yeah. Construction people know.
Yeah.
Very good. So again, the question is, what still needs improvement when it comes to emergency response and community preparedness? I know this might be a little too much of a question.
Yeah.
But did you see anything that perhaps people have talked about that that you've heard? I know that you said the social media aspect of it has died down, but anything that you can share with us?
Some of it was people that live in flood areas sometimes not taking it seriously. And now during Kerrville, the flood emergency warnings did not come all the way until the middle of the night, 3 a.m. when most people are asleep, or they came in too late.
Yeah.
But especially some of them thought, hey, it's just it's a regular flood. It's something that happens. I'm just gonna barricade my house and I'm gonna stay here. It's not gonna be that big of a deal. Until it was. So one of the things was community or just public education.
Yes.
That hey, when there's a flood warning, it's not just because we're seeing it just because.
Yeah, let's take it serious.
Yeah, we have to take it seriously. Especially like these past few weeks, we've been getting a lot of just they're minor storms compared to that one. But we still get those Amber Alerts that say, hey, flash flood warning, please take shelter. And some people don't. Some people still go outside and think everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're told to move to higher ground and they just decide to stay where they're at. I know that well, a few years back here in Blanco, we had a huge flooding and we lost some people, you know, because they just happened to live close to the river, and the whole house, the whole families were swept away. I remember hearing some horror stories where a young lady was calling her father and didn't know what to do, and her car's being swept away, and then they found her later, of course. She was gone. So definitely a tragedy.
So so with everything that you saw, and then you saw the need and how this was meeting and everything, I mean, obviously you were inspired to kind of keep going. So let's talk a little bit more about what your vision is to kind of like expand Operation Taco and you know, what that looks like for you and, you know, how you see yourself being able to impact, you know, going forward.
Yeah, of course. So the big idea or the vision of it is to have a truck and trailer at least. The truck will be, of course, to pull the trailer, but also I want the tailgate of it to just be full of medical supplies or any towels, anything that first responders might need out there in the field. The truck, of course, is going to be a food trailer, but I also want to make it a storage trailer to save anything that people want to donate. Because the biggest thing during those emergency responses is they get a budget for food. They get a budget for food, but the biggest thing is, okay, who's going to cook it? Where are we going to buy it from? Is it going to be a daily thing? Because the supply chain is disrupted when there's an emergency. So what I want to fill up is that void of, hey, there's not a security and we're always going to have a hot meal. And that's where I want to be able to come in and be able to start in Texas at least. But then if we're able to fund ourselves to be more of a national organization where each state has at least one team that in case of an emergency is able to be activated and go. Because we had so many people that wanted to support from everywhere in the United States and even outside the United States. I have people from Guam that donated. I have one guy from Guam that donated me my first ever griddle. I had never used one.
Look at that.
But he donated that.
But that's the power, right, of social media. That there's no borders. There is no limits. So and now with anybody from any part of the world can place an order in HEB and well, I don't know how true is that, but
it was hard, but I taught them how.
But you can do that, or you can do Amazon. You can do a bunch of stuff. But that's the cool part of the social media. I think because you told me that you also have other ideas with the fundraisers, organize them. So what are you? Is this going to be something on the same motto as Operation Tackle? You just right now say having maybe different hubs of first responders.
Yeah.
But what about fundraisers? Do you have that on the horizon for? You talked to me about be a firefighter for a day. So why don't you talk about that?
Yeah. So one of the ideas that I have is be able. One of the biggest barriers, I should say, is people sometimes not relating to what first responders go through on the daily. Especially right now, barrier with just the community and police. That's one of the biggest ones. So what I want to start doing is, hey, be a firefighter for the day or be a police officer for the day.
Oh, wow.
So I'm trying to get in talks with the academies of both of those. It just depends by city. But for example, the Fire Academy, what we're trying to do is, hey, if you donate $250, you get 2 tickets so people can come over. You're gonna get to put out a little fire. You're gonna get to shove a door down. You're gonna be able to extract a person from a car. So,
Yes.
but also they're gonna get to down and dirty. You're gonna have to, I don't know, throw on a hose, and you're gonna have to go up a flight of stairs. You're gonna have to, between two people, you're gonna drag a dummy, or you're gonna drag somebody, and you're gonna get to feel what firefighters go through on the daily. And that's, I guess, it's more of an experience. Is what sells.
Yes.
You're selling an experience, but you're also knowing that like the money that you're donating, it's gonna go straight to supporting these people when they need it the most.
Wow.
And also, you're selling an experience, but the person who's actually going through that experience, in the case of an emergency, like a car wreck or something, at least they're gonna have that out of their system, like that fear of just running away and call 911. They're actually gonna be like, hey, I can do this. I can help somebody and get him out of the car.
That.
So that's something that I see.
Yeah, absolutely. I was a first responder in the Air Force, and I can tell you that my first car accident just tore me up. It's like, what the heck, even with all the training, but over time, it has helped.
Yeah, well, and also with that experience is going to raise more awareness within the community of what, how hard that job actually is. Like what those guys actually, I mean, they're going to be doing training.
Yeah.
And the training's hard enough. But then when you get put into an actual emergency situation, hopefully that training comes through. And, when they see those guys working, they're going to have a lot more, hopefully, admiration and respect for the job that's being done. So that'll be pretty awesome.
Very good. Well, we're wrapping up our time here, and but I can tell you this: I'm very impressed with you. I understand you have a business degree.
Yes, sir.
That is awesome. That is fantastic. And you also know about social media, obviously, and you're putting this business model together. And we're here to help support you in any way we can. So what we're hoping to do after today, once we do launch this, is we'll go ahead and allow you to go ahead and use this segment to promote. And we're also going to invite you to come back.
Yes, sir.
Once we have a different setup and ask you how things are going.
Yeah.
So I have one last question before Sitz wraps it up here. And again, this was a very, very tragic event that haunts all of us. Anybody with pulse, I think. So when people remember the July 4th, 2025 Hill Country floods, 5 or 10 years from now, what do you hope they remember? Not just about the tragedy, but of people, volunteers, first responders, communities that came out, with
what I hope they remember, and this is from a first-hand experience, not just mine. This is actually from that trooper that I first approached. He happens to be my law enforcement advisor in my board of directors.
look at that.
And it got to the point where we talk frequently. We get a phone call twice a month at least. We talk to each other. But from his first-hand experience, he was always, the time that he was deployed, he came back 3 times. I'll tell you this. He volunteered 3 times to come back. Actually, it was 4. Yeah, 4 times.
Yeah.
But he was always stationed at the front of Camp Mystic. So unfortunately, he was always the trooper that would have to turn away people that wanted to come and help. He was the trooper that families were coming up to and asking for answers to their questions. So from his first-hand experience, the way he described it was Camp Mystic and Kerrville was both the worst and the best experience he's ever had when it comes to responding to supporting the community, because of course he always had to see the tragedy that these families were going through, but he also got to see the community that came all together to support this small city that a lot of people had never heard of, and not just Kerrville, the surrounding cities along with it, but people that never knew about it, and where news outlets from around the world were all focused on here. states that sometimes we do rivalry with each other
Mhm.
over football or just
Yes.
over state pride. We're coming here and they didn't care. They didn't care about that. They all they cared about was seeing a way to help.
Wow.
That's amazing. So 1 year later, we want to remember the lives lost, the families forever changed, the countless people who stepped up to serve. Edgar, thank you for reminding us that sometimes hope shows up in simple ways: a hot meal, helping hand, and a community willing to come together when it matters the most.
Beautiful.
And as we close, remember, you don't battle alone. Love every day, laugh every day, cry every day, and even if it costs you everything, live free.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sir, for coming in. Thank you,
I don't know if you want to give your social media, so if you are
Yeah,
just on
probably.
Instagram.
Yeah.
I mean, Operation Taco is
Yeah.
the name, but are you on Instagram and what else?
So Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, I'm still battling it
Okay.
because I lost the password to the original one. So
happens.
I'm waiting for the handle. You can still follow it and it'll still be the
Okay.
original one. But it's all Operation Taco. At the end, it's a 0. But even if you look it up as Operation Taco, it'll pop
YouTube?
up.
You're not on YouTube?
Not yet.
Okay.
okay.
That's what I need.
Well, we can roll this
Yeah,
into
yeah.
the film a little bit, but I mean, dude, this the shirt is awesome. You
Thank you,
should you should talk a little bit about like all the tags, all the
Yeah,
all the
I should talk
patches,
about this.
and your hat too,
Yes,
dude.
sir.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. So let's start with this one. Because the hat came first before even the patches. So as the deployment of the troopers was ending, I thought, well, I kind of want something to remember them by.
Yeah.
And at the time I didn't know, but that same trooper that is
on your board.
my friend right now,
Yes, I'm in.
he gave me my first ever patch, my DPS patch.
Oh,
He gave me
wow.
my first ever challenge coin, which is a
Yes.
plate that says Waco, and the other side it's all the counties that they take care of. But it was cool. I had never gotten or received a challenge coin.
Right.
I didn't know the significance of it.
Wow.
I didn't know that as a civilian you can't just buy them.
No.
It has to be given to you, and it's a sign of respect. And then I thought, okay, I've seen it before where people sign a flag or they sign a shirt,
Yes.
and it's a way to remember an event. I didn't really have anything like that, and so I always carried this hat. It's my beater hat.
Yeah.
I always carried on the passenger on top of the headrest.
Yes.
So I just grabbed it and I told some of them, like, hey, do you mind if you just sign it? I just want something to remember you guys
Yeah.
by. And so, yeah, sure. So I just started with a couple of them, around 20 troopers.
Yeah.
And then when the firefighters came over, then it grew to 50. And then it just kept going. As many first responders as I got to
wow,
me.
look at that.
You're gonna
And-
need a new hat soon.
Yeah.
Yes, I will. I'll
Yeah.
probably need a wall full of these hats.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But then it just started to, okay, you know what? This hat doesn't really represent an event. Each one of those signatures represents a first responder that we were able to help. Somebody that was there, boots on the ground. Somebody that puts their lives on the line every single day. Each one of these patches represents, I think, the respect that they have, not for me as a person, but for the idea that it is giving back to first responders.
Oh, it's for you too,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
Yeah, it's for you.
Thank you.
yeah.
But it, like I said, I love wearing this jacket just because, yes, it's a little bit of showing off.
I don't think so.
But for me, it's more like if somebody comes up to me and asks me like, "Hey, what do you have all these patches?" I get to tell the story a little bit, and you never know when somebody is like, "You know what? I identify with that so much. I want to help you support that idea."
Yeah.
You're a very
Yeah.
humble man.
And I think that's something that it makes you really proud. And for somebody who asks you and who is ignorant of the meaning of it, I don't think you can come off as arrogant for having it. Like you just said, like it's too much, like I'm cocky or whatever. But once you share that with them, it's like, I'll wear the same jacket. You know, it's what makes you proud.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I have gotten hate for it as well.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you have.
One time I made a mistake of going to Austin with it.
Oh no!
Look at that.
Yeah,
Well,
and I got yelled. I'm not gonna say here what I got yelled at, but
Yeah.
you can imagine what I got yelled at.
Well, let me go ahead and say this. What we mentioned that of some of the future plans that you have, right?
Yeah.
And I've noticed that when you go ahead and put a good team behind an idea, you can do anything. So, what is it that you, would like to ask our listening audience?
Yeah,
I
of
mean, what is it that you have in mind? And just leave it open, whatever it is that put it on the table, right? What do you think would help you better prepare for your mission?
Yeah. So I think the two things that I'm lacking, first of all, because I wasn't experienced in nonprofit work at all.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing how to, I thought it was gonna be like running a business, and some aspects of it are.
Yes.
But then there's the legal part of, okay, you already have federal permission to be tax exempt,
Yes.
and that comes with very heavy weight.
Yeah,
A
a lot of requirements.
Oh yeah. So when I first applied for it, I always heard through the internet, hey, it's gonna take you 2 to 6 years. Even if you ask for expedited filing, it's gonna take you at least 2 to 3. Or sorry, 4 to 6 years, 2 to 3. And I thought, oh, okay, well, I'll have time to train myself. But no, you remember the government shutdown of that same year.
Yeah.
It ended, what was it, first week of November, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. That was November.
Yeah, November. I put in the papers, and then 3 weeks later, I get a card from the IRS, and I thought, oh, well, they probably said no.
Yeah.
Because somebody that was inexperienced filed it.
Gotcha.
And I thought, dang it, I probably messed up. But no, it was a card, it was a letter saying, hey, your organization is approved as a 501c3 nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all hit me that, like, I have no idea what this means.
I gotcha.
So one of the biggest things that I'm lacking is knowledge, of course.
So okay, very good. So it seems like a board would.
Yeah, I do have a board, but it's on paper it's the official one, but unofficially, we're trying to do the best we can. But for example, financial, we try to keep it as best as we can. We have we have a good bookkeeping system right now.
Okay.
But it's not. I know it's nowhere near enough
Where it needs to be.
of where it needs to be, especially if an audit
Yes.
comes down.
Exactly.
Because at the time we were supposed to have a sponsor.
Yes.
It fell through.
Yes.
They just didn't respond back, even
Okay.
though they said it. So
Got
I'm
it.
gonna leave it at that.
Gotcha.
So what I had told the IRS that was coming in, it never came through.
Got it.
And then the other thing is lack of experience on like fundraising. I might think this is the right way to do it, but then I overthink it.
Yes.
It's like, okay, yes, we want to have that fundraiser with the firefighters, but then we're missing. I didn't realize, but you need liability insurance. You need to have a permit from the city. You need to have a bunch of stuff. You need to have your food permit and all this. And I keep thinking, and it just becomes a lot of realization that, yes, it's a nonprofit, but you need a lot of money to
Yes.
to operate,
Yeah.
to have any type of fundraiser
Oh,
too.
yeah.
It's not just a pretty poster and a bunch of text messages or posts. You have all the back end work. So
Yeah.
so maybe somebody can
If someone wants to give you money, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look at your board. They're going to ask you who's on your board. You need a bio for each person. You need to assign, a treasurer. You need to assign a secretary,
Yep.
a president, vice president, and
Yeah.
then members. So I would go ahead and advise you to go after that. So if you had a chance to go ahead and say that to our listening audience, and I want you to take a minute and look at the camera and recruit those people and give them a way to go ahead and reach out to you, because what you're doing is what drives people.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.
All right, and they have the they may not know how to cook a taco, but they're really good at managing money.
Yes.
They're very good at running organizations. Right, you're the boots on the ground guy, and you need to have that support that that comes through having a board. So what would you go ahead and
do this.
No one?
yeah.
So I would ask financial advisors, definitely. Like I said, we're nowhere near where we're supposed to be. I would ask, maybe not treasure, fundraiser specialists, people that know how permits work. Because I might look it over with the internet, but it's maybe it's right, but it's not for this county, and
Yes.
it's very specific things that I don't really know. People that know how to work connections, because I might have the connections, but I don't know how to word it into specific words, because I guess it's to that point where sometimes I'm too humble for myself, and I've been
Yes.
told this. I don't know how to ask for money.
Yes.
Even though mine is, even though I have that tax exemption, I don't know how to ask for money or equipment.
Yes.
For me, it just seems that I'm pointing a gun at somebody and asking for their money.
No. I saw the videos of you walking up to the troopers, and they looked at you, like, who's this guy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're law enforcement guys are always like on
course.
guard, right? And you were very humble, and you said, "Hey, I have some tacos here." Very, very pleasant. Anybody would go and buy from you if you were selling them, but you were giving them away. So,
I'm trying to get to the point where I have my own taco truck.
okay.
And the whole reason why is because if I'm able to have that, then it's my own business. I will be able to set my own hours.
Yes.
Then I'm able to actually go help out first responders whenever I want to.
Yes.
And it would also help me fundraise, because, hey, every Friday it will be fundraiser day. All the
see.
money that we make in sales will go straight to the nonprofit.
Yeah.
But-
I got you.
Takes time.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
yeah. No,
and then you'll be
like
able to
everything
team
else.
up. I can see that where you have your taco truck, and then there could be other food trucks and drink trucks, like ice cream or whatever,
Mhm.
and it could be a special event to gather more people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So the exposure that we're hoping to give you will hopefully bring you the help that you need, because I think that your mission is fantastic.
No.
I think it's
Very good.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. I hope
You're
you enjoyed yourself, and I'm sure the listening audience really appreciates what you did.
Thank you.